You guys are in for a treat today. It's Saturday. We have an amazing show lined up. You're going to get to see 4 of us, me and 3 other technicians, knock out a very small 3-bedroom apartment with stretching and a cleaning. Trash poly. Turned out really, really good. You're going to get to see me stretch this entire carpet the wrong way with my knee kicker, and my knee still hurts. This is not good, but it's an awesome episode. And then at the end, stay tuned because I eat an entire plate full of veggies, whole food, plant-based diet. It's delicious. This is our second stretch and clean job of the day. So this is an apartment complex, move out cleaning. They wanted to bump this up to yesterday, but unfortunately we were unable to do it. So came out here Saturday, and you can see I'm actually having to put some nails in to hold the tackless down. And you can also probably see that Cole's having a hard time keeping his pants up, which is kind of a common problem these days with him. But because of the size of the room and the type of the carpet, I decided that even though we had brought the power stretcher up to the second floor, this is a second floor apartment, that I would just knee kick it because, again, it was just a whole lot easier to get it into place. The way it was installed, there was a little gap underneath the baseboards, which made it kind of easy to hide. And the room was so long. Normally, when we stretch for this apartment complex, the carpet goes the other way or is in need of stretching the other way. But these wrinkles were happening from the left of the screen to the right, and there was quite a few of them. This is the living room, dining room, and that's the front door. Right before we flip the camera, you can see the front door. So we're disengaging all the carpet along the tackless and kind of just edging it down the wall across this hallway. We were actually able to stretch through 2 different hallways, one to the master bedroom and one to the other side of the apartment with 2 other bedrooms without having to cut the seams, just because there was so much excess carpet hidden underneath the baseboard. So it worked out really, really well. This portion of the job took us about 30 minutes, and I think start to finish this entire job took us about an hour and 40. Of course, we had 4 of us there, so we had quite the team, but that was a pretty good job because it ended up, I think it was almost a $500 job, so $470 or $465 I think for this stretch and cleaning. The main stretching that needed to be done, you're seeing happen right now, was the living room and dining room. The other 2 bedrooms that had just a couple wrinkles was a really minor stretch that we had to complete there. So this is flipping the camera over, and I'm actually in the dining room. Right there to my right is the kitchen. And again, these are pretty small apartment complexes, but we've been cleaning for this property management company and these apartments for over 7 years now. So this is a pretty good account. We've established a really good relationship with them over the years. So before I was done stretching, I went ahead and had Cole, Lyndon, and Thomas get the vacuums, bring those up in order to start the removal of all the dry soil. So that's really the second step of our cleaning process. The first being that we thoroughly inspect all the carpet fibers and determine the type of soiling and the level of cleaning that we're going to need to be doing. Then we immediately go to step 2, which you're watching Cole do here while I kick that dining room into place. And so Cole is removing all the dry soil with a workhorse vacuum, and we have both a workhorse and you can see that little wrinkle there I'm pointing out. Again, this is the master bedroom, and that was the only spot in the entire bedroom that had any kind of wrinkle. So in lieu of disengaging the entire room, I just did that one corner, trimmed off about a half of an inch, and was able to get that wrinkle, that lump, and that hump to just completely disappear. So while I was doing that, we went ahead and started on the vacuuming. And while 2 of them started on the vacuuming, the third technician went ahead and got all the hoses in place, because again, this was on the second story, so it's kind of a feat to drag all the hoses up, even though we were positioned right in front of the building and didn't have a very far, what they call hose run. It was a very, very short hose run. We only were able to get within 100 feet. So 100 feet of hose, and we were able to reach everything all the way back to the closet in the second bedroom. So again, this had 3 bedrooms, a living room, dining room, and a couple little hallways. You can see by that pile of carpet stripping on the floor there that we were able to trim off quite a bit of carpet. Kind of gives you an idea of how many wrinkles, lumps, and humps were in there. So I went ahead and cleared that up, got all my tools out of there. Cole had already brought down the power stretcher, even though I brought it up. And of course, as soon as we were done moving all the tools and scraps and trash from the stretch, we went ahead and rolled right into the next step, the third step of our cleaning process, which is the application of a soap-free detergent or preconditioner. And you can see here we're using an inline sprayer, and that green hose just connects to the sprayer, and then from there all the way out to the truck mount. So we're able to have a really hot delivery of pre-spray to the carpet, which actually aids in the solution's ability to break down the soil and prepare that for the next step of our cleaning process, which is the agitation portion. So this was the next step. We were able to get the CRB. You can see Lyndon over in the dining room there, kind of a far shot, but he's actually got the 10-inch CRB with the renovator trays on there, and he's beginning to agitate the preconditioner into the fiber, while Cole runs all the vacuum hoses to the master bedroom, which had already been pre-sprayed and agitated. So by the time I got done pre-spraying the other two bedrooms, I was able to disconnect from the inline sprayer and immediately start the process of hot water extraction in the master bedroom. So this is Thomas, and he's agitating the living room, taking his time because there were several spots, heavy traffic areas in the living room that needed quite a bit of attention. And this is actually his first time ever operating the 10-inch CRB, so kind of neat. Thomas delivered pizzas to my house, I think it was a couple weeks ago. My friend Elizabeth Ross, who owns Magically Spotless, had food delivered to our house, not the first time she's done that. And the pizza delivery guy that showed up noticed the vans. His name was Thomas, and he basically hit me up for a job. So today was the first day he was able to roll with us, and he got to learn quite a bit and see some different things. But again, once we got done doing the agitation in the master bedroom, I went ahead and started with the hot water extraction, otherwise known as the steam cleaning. And here you can see we're using the 4-jet titanium Devastator swivel wand, which is a really nice wand. Does an amazing job cleaning. I was telling Thomas today that this is a pretty fancy tool, considering for the first decade I don't think I cleaned a carpet with a wand that cost more than a couple $100, and this one almost cost $2,000. So this is a really nice piece of equipment, but again, very worthwhile. It makes the job much easier. You get a lot better results with a wand like this versus the kind that I used before. There's Lyndon giving the thumbs up in the background. He really wanted to be in the thumbnail. So the one we picked actually was, it has Lyndon in it, but you really have to look hard to see him. So you can see at this point I've actually I moved all the blinds so that we could get better lighting in here, even though I did have the light ring. And you can see the first step I normally do is I extract out the closet and then immediately do behind the door, especially for an empty. So I do the closet, then I do behind the door, and then I go to the farthest point and start extracting over. And you can see as I'm doing this, they're still actually finishing up, wrapping up the CRB. So it was kind of perfect timing, the way we kind of overlap and everybody's doing something until we're at the final stage where we're all just watching Dan work, which they got a kick out of that. So I definitely didn't mind doing all the wanding. It's one of my favorite parts of the cleaning process, so I definitely didn't mind having them watch me do that, especially because get a little extra calorie burn, because this evening I'm going to be taking my daughter out to dinner, and then we're going to be going to the father-daughter dance, and I think this is like our 5th or 6th year in a row of doing that. She loves it. I love it. We always have a really good time. So anyway, as soon as I got done doing this, though, I did go home, worked out. I was able to do a little workout, and then I had a really healthy lunch, which you're going to get to see if you continue to watch. I videoed the entire thing and sped it up, and you'll get to see me eat that entire plate of food here. So this was actually the shot where we did shoot the thumbnail for the video. Had actually all 3 of them, but even though you really only can see Cole and Lyndon because Thomas was off in the corner. But this was the last bedroom that we did the hot water extraction on, and then we moved the camera and we started to come down the hallway. So then we finished the hallway. We're able to finish out the living room, which worked out perfectly because, like I said, the living room was by far the most heavily soiled area and had some pretty significant spots as well that we had to treat individually with the preconditioner a whole lot heavier than normal. But it had the longest dwell time, so we were able to do all the bedrooms in the hallway, while the living room, even though we pre-sprayed it first, we extracted it last. So again, it had the longest dwell time. And the spots, even despite it being a really low-grade, cheap polyester carpet, it did clean up really, really well. I mean, the color helps also because it's a pretty dark brown color, so that tends to lend itself to look good even when it's actually not looking that good. So much better than those lighter beiges or whites, cream color carpets. So the apartment complexers are getting smarter and smarter, putting the darker colors into the rental units. And while Cole and Lyndon were supervising and hazing me about my wand stroke, you can see that Thomas had grabbed the grooming brush, and at the last job we taught him a little bit about how and why we do that, and he was able to go around and be grooming out all the bedrooms in the hallway while we finished out with the extraction on the living room. When I first started in carpet cleaning, I had several different, probably about a dozen apartment complexes that we serviced, and over the years we lost some and gained new ones, and now I think we only service about 5 or 6, and that's perfectly fine. We did end up increasing our rates a little bit, and some of the apartment complexes really had it within their budget that they could only pay a certain amount, so we did lose some of those accounts, but overall the amount that we've increased it more than compensated for the ones that we lost, and we feel like we're able to deliver a much more superior product now in service, being that we did increase the prices, so we're able to take our time and add several other steps to the cleaning process which ensure a much better result. So talking to Thomas after today's couple of cleaning jobs, it seems like he enjoyed himself and had a pretty good time. I know it's a whole lot different from pizza delivery because I used to do that as well, but it is rewarding work, and this is one of the most rewarding parts, to see what actually came out of that carpet, and you can see it's pretty funky. And the best part of any daily vlog video, Dan eating his lunch. So this is me devouring 3 servings of Brussels sprouts, 3 sweet potatoes, some sprouts, and an entire bowl of black beans, 3.5 servings of black beans. And I got some seasoning salt there that I got from my pastor's nephew, Kenny Bears. It's so good. We're almost through an entire container, and I'm drinking some herbal tea, wild berry herbal tea. Really good little lunch, though. Filled me up so much.
This is so good.
It really was so good. And wearing a hat from Turner Brothers Heating and Air I got from a gentleman named Martin Turner yesterday, and him and his brother have owned that company for many, many years. It's a great little local heating and air company, and he's very active at the chamber. I think he's like the chairman or something, chairman of the board. He's some important position, but he's a really, really nice guy. And an associate pastor at the church we attend also. But he gave me a hat as long as I wore it, so I assured him that I would, and here I am wearing his hat. Really good guy. We were at the chamber pretty much all day yesterday with Leadership Camden, its new program that we're attending. So really appreciate everybody's support in watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel below and you enjoy our videos, please mash the thumbs up. Leave a comment below of your favorite part, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified every single time we drop a new video. Thanks so much for watching.
That was a lot. I'm very full, but super good. Super good.